Let's get straight into Real Housewives of Potomac. I've been waiting all day to do this video, and I have some things to say, especially regarding Candiace, most importantly with this video, because last night's episode fully confirms to me the way I've been feeling about Candiace. And it's been wishy-washy the way I've been feeling about her. For the most part, I've liked her. But Candiace is no victim. Let's be 100% clear when it comes to Candiace and the way she acts, the insults that she constantly gives to several women, not just Giselle. She does it to Mia, she does it to Ashley. Constantly. And to me, it's not funny anymore because if it was done to her, she would run with either colorism or body shaming. And it's just at this point, I get it. Candiace, you say a lot of things that are funny without even having to insult someone's physical appearance. But she always takes these low blows. She keeps talking about Giselle's neck, Ashley's forehead, Mia's feet. Now, one of those three women, or any other woman, Robyn, whoever, Sharice, I don't know. If any one of those women were to make an insult and talk about Candiace's shape, she would be heavily insulted and it would be a big deal. Not only would viewers be mad, it would be a thing. And it's just right now, I'm over this colorism issue. I'm over all of this. Oh my God, Giselle and Robyn and Mia are such villains, yet Candiace, Wendy, Karen, they're innocent. And all of the women collectively have all said things, have all been messy, have all pride in marriages. This is not just Giselle and Robyn here. Candiace does the same thing. She sat her behind a few episodes ago down with Ashley. And this is what I said earlier. I don't know why she feels the need to have this back and forth with Ashley. They have this love-hate relationship. And the fact that Candiace makes an excuse as to, oh, you're not loyal or I trusted you type of thing. Why would you? She should know right now, especially being on the show as long as she's been on there. There is absolutely nothing that you say out of your mouth that you should feel Ashley's not going to repeat. So I'm saying whatever you say to Ashley, you should expect it to be repeated. And you should be prepared and ready to have someone mention it, bring it up, or be told that they were told this, that you said this. It should be no reason why you're sitting here thinking that when you talk to Ashley, it's in secrecy. Why do you feel that, Candiace? I don't understand. You and Ashley, that is to me your enemy. Frenemy, I should say. Frenemy, because they go back and forth. They're cool one episode, then by the end of that episode or the next episode, they're back to arguing, then they're back to being cool. So it's like people like that, you can't really consider a friend. You should know how to utilize them and know how they operate. These are grown women. These are not teenagers. These are not people that are not married or, these are women in their mid 30s to late 50s. This is the age range that we're dealing with. So, Candiace, I'm going to need you to stop making yourself the victim when things come back to haunt you, things that you've said, things that you've done. I'm tired of her playing the victim route when she's just as messy as the rest of the women. She's just as messy as the rest of them. All of them are. None of these women are saints. None of these women are saints, okay? None of them on any of the housewife franchises. None of them are. They all come on here to do a job. Sometimes it goes a little too far. However, if any of these women didn't start any kind of drama or mess, they would not be on here. And that is the facts of the matter. I have been watching Housewives since day one. And this is the way it works. So all of the people that sit back all the time and hate Giselle and Robyn and Mia and whoever else when it comes to this franchise because of this whole colorism theory that I'm not buying nor believing because I watched the show myself and I truly do not feel it's a matter of colorism. Now, are they being messy? Are they sitting here feeling as if they can do things? Then when it happens back to them or whatever the case may be, they feel away? Of course. All of them do. All of them do. This video is not for anyone who can only believe Candiace or Wendy. This is not what this video is about because I'm not sitting here trying to make it seem like these women are angels. Wendy, now her and Mia were having their issues. Mia threw the drink at Wendy. They went back and forth. They almost got into it. So Wendy tried to be the bigger person when she came to dinner and apologized to Mia. Mia did not accept the apology. Now, Mia did act very juvenile when it came to that. I mean, even if she didn't want to accept it, I feel she should have been able to look her straight in her face and just say that instead of acting the way she was acting, like looking away and, like looking up and just not paying her any mind, sipping her drink, not really caring for Wendy's apology. She claimed that she wasn't buying the apology. She felt that it was fake. However she felt is whatever. But when it comes to Wendy needs to understand, yes, that drink being thrown on you was cause for you to react any way you wanted to. Meaning if you were to throw something back at her, it would have been warranted because technically Mia set it off and she started it first. She got physical first. So when it comes to that, I'm definitely team Wendy when it comes to that drink throwing episode, right? I am. But Wendy needs to rewind back to last season when she pretty much, of course, had the problem with Giselle. She had a big problem with Giselle and Robyn as well. But, she was really more so mad at Giselle. And I'm never going to forget, and I'm happy I was able to find this video. Remember when Wendy was mad with Giselle, and I think they were at Giselle's house when they had the reasonably shady party or whatever they had, and they were all there. And then at the end, Giselle's daughter, Grace, she was coming out, I think, and she was learning how to drive. So I think Giselle had her move one of the cars out the driveway or do something like that. She walked past all of the women and Wendy gave her daughter the nastiest look. It was just uncalled for. But hey, that's what she wanted to do, right? Wendy is not an angel either. No, she's not. To look at someone's child like that has nothing to do with it. This girl didn't do nothing wrong to you. And you're sitting here giving her the screw face for what? But hey, that's how Wendy felt. And then now, fast forward to the beginning of the season, people don't understand why Giselle doesn't want to talk to Wendy anymore. When Wendy was when she approached her episode 1, talking about basically trying to hug Giselle. And Giselle is looking at her like, what are you doing? What I'm saying is you can't sit here and act away or have a beef with somebody and expect when you're ready to talk it out for them to be ready to talk it out. It's just so, the behavior, the way that people are acting as if Candiace and Wendy are saints, they are not. They are not. Candiace, you went crazy on Giselle because Giselle spoke about your husband, but yet you're sitting there talking about Karen's husband to Ashley. Whether it was something that Sharice said, whatever the case was, you still spread that rumor. You still spoke about it. You still talked about it. being messy with Ashley, a girl that you don't even get along with for the most part. Like, why would you sit and just think it's cool for you to sit and talk about Karen, who you claim is your friend and who you are loyal to? Why do that? We remember that scene. It's ridiculous. So now with the women, we're at dinner, and Ashley brought up what Candiace said. So she said that Karen was dating other men, and then Candiace was fully blindsided by it. Karen was upset. I was surprised. I didn't think that Karen would react that way, but she did. Karen was so mad. And then Candiace, what does she do? Candiace sits and gets upset. You know what? Before that happened, they were talking about Candiace's live that she did. So let me rewind back before I get into the incident with Karen and Candiace. Remember, we're talking about a live that Candiace did, and she was talking, basically saying F these hoes, talking about the cast or whatever. I guess she was talking about them as a whole. That's what she was saying in the live, apparently. And Robyn had recorded it, played it in the table, and that's when Candiace is like, you know who I'm talking about. And I'm not talking about all of you. And then Giselle's like, well, why didn't you say my name? Because Candiace is making it seem like I was just talking about Giselle or whatever. And then she said that Robyn was the most loyal one, which is, I'm surprised. Like, what? Like, so Robyn, you feel out of all of the women is the most loyal, Candiace? So once that happened, that's when Ashley intervened, and she brought up what happened when her and Candiace spoke, when they were talking about Ray. Or Karen, not Ray, but Karen, apparently out with some other man, dating some other man. So that's when Ashley brought that up. And that's when Karen was livid. She got upset. She got up. She's like, is that true? And that's when Candiace, what does she do? When she gets thrown to the fire, what does she do? She denied it, first of all. She denied it. To Karen's face, like, no, that is untrue. Even if it was out of context, like she was saying on Watch What Happens Live last night, even if it was out of context, you said nothing of the sort. You just flat out denied that you even said it at all, as if what Ashley said was a total lie, as if you'd never even had a conversation with Ashley about that. Whether it was from someone else saying it, whether it was the word on the street, it doesn't matter. You flat out denied it, Candiace, to Karen's face. So once she does that, like I said, Karen got upset. And then what does Candiace do? Once Karen got up and went to the bathroom, and then Karen came back and then she saw that Karen was upset, she sits and plays the victim role now. Now she's like, oh, you can't trust anyone. She gets up, she starts crying, calls Chris. She calls Chris in tears, speaking to him, telling him what these women did to her. And she's saying that these women are basically coming for her, setting her up. And Chris I guess you see what he's saying to her. He's like, you've been loyal to them, and all they do is throw shit back in your face. So this is what he's saying to her. And she's crying. And I'm just like, you know what? This is what I'm talking about. This is exactly the same way it happened when you and Monique got into it, Candiace. This is the same thing. You were running off at the mouth. The only difference is Monique flipped your hair, and that's what made you break the glass, and then the fight started. But Candiace, this is what I'm going to need you to stop crying like a little girl when the heat is on you. Because the words that come out of your mouth every single episode, the insults, all of the things that you say about these other women, talking about how they look. Giselle, as you claim that she's this ancient person with these ankles and these rolls in her neck, and then Ashley with this big humongous forehead, and then Mia with these big gigantic feet. You do this every single week. You say things about these women, and then the second somebody gives you a dose of your own medicine, for the most part, and exposes what things that you said behind people's back, You cry and you go call your husband. This is what I'm not, this is why I can't rock with Candiace. This is why I can't. And this is not about no colorism at all. She said the women tried to ambush her. That's what she said. The word was ambush, is what she used. They tried to ambush her because Robyn secretly recorded you and played it in front of everyone so everyone could hear how you really talk. You would have done the same thing if you would have had some dirt on Giselle talking about somebody. So please, with the victim, playing the victim role, crying your way out of things, but yet you're so big and bold and tough when you're running your mouth. You can't do both. You are no victim, Candiace. I'm tired of seeing you crying. I'm over it now because you have shown that you are this big tough girl. You're this big tough girl. So act like it. And then the way that she got into it with Mia's friend Jacqueline, calling her the representative, and the two of them went back and forth. And this is the funny part. Jacqueline, I wish that Cherie on Housewives of Beverly Hills would have taken up for Garcelle the way that Jacqueline takes up for Mia. It's so funny that this woman talks way more on Potomac as a friend of than Cherie did when she was on Beverly Hills. We couldn't get Cherie to crack a word, let alone defend Garcelle. So it's really funny. I can't wait to see what happens between Mia and Jacqueline, because Jacqueline is here for the mess. She's here for the mess. And her and Candiace went back and forth. She wasn't backing down from Candiace, and Candiace was talking crap to her, per usual. That's the way she rolls. She talks a lot. So I'm over the tears, Candiace. Please stop them. Please stop with the tears. You are grown. You can handle it. You are definitely messy enough to hang with these women. So I'm going to need the tears and the phone calls to stop. It's one thing. Of course, you're going to talk to your husband and fill him in on what happened. But literally in the moment, you walk up from the table and go call him. But just a few minutes ago, you're dragging Giselle for filth. And Giselle had nothing to do with, well, she did tell Robyn to play it. But Candiace hadn't seen that part yet. But as far as you speaking with Ashley about Karen, Giselle had nothing to do with that. Giselle wasn't there. Giselle's name wasn't brought up. So I don't know why you got so angry with Giselle when that happened. And Robyn sat, of course, grinning because she's being extremely messy this season. She stepped it up a lot more than she usually has. Like, as she's trying to step out of Giselle's shadow. She wants to make a good big name for herself for once, even though she's being messy about it. She's tired of playing the back when it comes to Giselle. So she's stepping it up this season. I'm not a fan of none of this cast. None of them are my favorite. All of them are messy is the point I'm trying to make. None of them are better than the other. Wendy is messy. Wendy chose to apologize to Mia. Was it real? Was it not? I don't know. But she gave her an apology. It's not up to Wendy to force Mia to accept it. Mia could have handled it way better than she did, whether she accepted it or not. But like I said, that's how she chose to do it. Candiace and Wendy and Karen are like the fan favorites when it comes to Potomac. And that's fine. You know, each franchise has a fan favorite, and then you have your villains who people hate, and this, that, and the third. But to me, Giselle is messy, but I can't recall Giselle ever threatening to get physical, getting physical with none of them. Wendy has threatened to. Even Candiace had the nerve to say she's so happy that she wasn't there the night that went down with Mia and Wendy, because had she been there, maybe she would have thrown a glass at Wendy. So it's like, well, which is it? It's just, it's contradictory when it comes to the women being against violence, but yet threatening with violence. It's just, all of them do it. All of them do it. All of them do it. And that's the point I want to make with this video. So guys, let me know what you think. Subscribe to my channel, like this video, leave a comment, and I'll talk to all of you again soon.